that it's working. So anybody who wants to go over there and try YouTube, that will be great. We'll see if it works. We'll at least try it. It's starting up right now. Robin, YouTube is working now, supposedly. So we had some issues on YouTube this morning. Hopefully now all the kinks are worked out with YouTube. They have us up and running now, and it was across the board. Looks like they've blocked some people. I heard that Mike Cernovich was blocked. Thank you, whoever's giving me the super hearts. I mean, that's so cool. It doesn't give a name right now, but that's very cool. So anybody who wants to go to YouTube, it's up and running. Thank goodness. So we just recapping very quickly. Charlie Gard's attorney looks like he is a chairman from the Compassion in Dying organization, which is a true conflict of interest, in my opinion and most people's opinion. Chicago, there were a number of deaths. The last one I saw was 10 with 37 wounded. Other people have seen others. Thank you, Karen. And we were just talking also, I forget what else we were talking about. We talked about so much going on. Oh, we talked about Hawaii. Hawaii courts have made a decision that the travel restrictions exempt grandparents, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and all that. And so the Trump administration is going in quickly to get them to the Supreme Court to make a decision on that. We should hear that sometime this week. And on the 25th, there should be a decision about Charlie. The attorney got there this week. I mean, the doctor got there this weekend and should be examining Charlie today and probably tomorrow. I know, Hugh. Now you can watch me on TV. Okay, everybody, like I said, YouTube is now up and running. Maybe they've worked out their problems. Hopefully, it will go smoothly. As far as McCain is doing, we kind of talked about that a little bit. He had an operation this weekend, and the blood clot above his eye, they say that it's probably more serious than what we know. So we'll have to just wait and see on that. Some people are saying that he could be recuperating in the hospital for several weeks. So I don't know. That's not what we're getting from John McCain camp, but we don't know what's true anymore. So who knows? As far as the donations for the Arizona vets, I'm leaving that open until Tuesday. If you'd like to make a donation, just go to SusanKnowles.com, click on the donate button, and give your donation. Everything except the fee from PayPal is going towards the veterans. So over the weekend, did a lot of shopping. For you who are over here on YouTube, I can show you a little bit of the shopping spree and kind of what it looks like. You can see some of the things that we got. We got a whole bunch of stuff, and they still need a whole lot more. Winter is going to be coming up faster than you know about it. Hey, Kay. And so we probably, we need to get them more stuff. So, feel free if you'd like to donate to go ahead and do that and get that in there. SusanKnowles.com. How will that affect the health care bill? So far they're saying they're waiting a little bit for John McCain to come back. We'll see how much they're going to be able to wait if John McCain doesn't get well in a couple of weeks. I don't know if John McCain's going to vote for the health care bill, so I don't know whether or not it's going to impact it that much or not. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Now, I don't know if anybody read my article. It looks like Barbara read my article this morning at SusanKnowles.com on Kamala Harris. Now, I have been warning everybody, and I mean warning everybody. You cannot count this woman out. And I feel that you cannot sit back and just say, you know what, we don't need to do anything. It's okay. She's never going to win. I get that a lot. People saying, oh, she's never going to win. We don't have to worry about it. Nobody knows who she is. Let me tell you something. Barbara said she's the devil. Thank you, Robin. Robin's going to read the article after the show. She went this weekend to the Hamptons, met with all the people that financed Hillary and then some. Very, very notable people in the Hamptons who have a lot of money. They're looking at her as like the new fresh face, the go-to person, the winner, whatever, for 2020. Now, I don't think that we can sit back and just say, you know what, Donald Trump has this. There's no possible way. When you think that way, just remember they probably said that about Obama, right? He was an unknown guy. Nobody knew who he was at all. He was a first term senator, and then he became president. So I think if we look that way and kind of underestimate Kamala Harris, we're going to have the same issues. This woman, in my opinion, hey Marlene, is a terrible, terrible person. From her attitude, the way she treats people, the way she treats the Trump administration, the way she talks to anybody who's in a Senate hearing. The only person that she's nice to are those people that she needs to suck up to in order to run for president. Dianne Feinstein was basically saying in the beginning, I don't know her very well. Maybe she should just stay in there and be a senator and do a good job. But the thing of it is, Dianne Feinstein is now starting to say, I really like this person. Again, she's going to probably be one of my best friends. Robin Dew, thank you so much for your super hearts. I so appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Makes my Monday. Trust me, it makes my Monday. So we've just got to keep our eyes and ears open for her. We need to start now in mounting a campaign against her. The Democrats want a true progressive, and Kamala meets those qualifications. She is a true progressive. She's a feminist. Doesn't like anything that goes against that. She knows the Clinton people. She's got money. She's what's her dirt? Barbara, there's dirt on her that people are claiming, and I have no way to know if this is true or not, that she's sort of, let's put it kindly, she used her way to get to the top with Willie Brown. And again, I have no idea if that's true or not. There may be, you may want to do some research on that, find out some more about her. She went to UC Hastings for law school. And she went to, I can't remember the undergraduate. I think it may have been Brown, but I don't know. They won't try a woman back to back. You know what? I think they will. I think they wanted Hillary. They wanted a female. Kamala Harris will give them more than that. She's a Indian, African American, and she's a female. I mean, you got a home run there for the Democrats all the way across the board. She's Indian and black. So she's got a great combination. They don't really look at qualifications on the Dems. They just want to know what the color of your skin is. So in her case, it would work well. And I say that not all Democrats think that way, but, that seems to be kind of how they look at people and judge people by that. So, but I think to underestimate her is not a good thing. Robin said, let's pray for Trump to do such an amazing thing that the liberals won't have a chance. Yeah, Robin, and I agree. I don't know that she has a chance, but I'm not willing to sit back and be complacent and hope that she doesn't. You know what I mean? Because I think that as Republicans, we too often sit back and wait. Hey, Teresa, I'll try to do that. Some of them are just saying hello, and I let them go. I predict Hillary will be involved in some way. She probably will, if nothing more than, going out and speaking up and speaking, out in support of Kamala. I could see her doing that, that's for sure. So, keep your eye on her to do that. I think you'll see a lot of people getting involved in that. I don't know who they would run with her. Hey, Jim, if it would be somebody like Biden or two women or, who knows. Maybe it'll be the guy who didn't make the DNC. I can't remember his name right now, but those people in the DNC, they are just so out of sight progressive. It's amazing. So we'll see what goes on. But again, let's not sit back and wait for things to happen. Let's get out there. Let's look at every single thing she does. Let's report on everything she does. Hopefully the Democrats will be so discredited it won't matter who they run. That would be great, Kay. I'm not sure I want to support the GOP either. Well, Julia, I think that, supporting President Trump would be better than supporting a President Harris in a lot of respects. And I could name them all off if you want, but wasting time and money sitting around, it's making you angry. Yep. She's a smoke screen. I don't know that she's a smoke screen. I think This woman, listen, I'm telling you, she has moved up the ladder. She knows exactly what she's doing. She became a senator in California after being a U.S. After being attorney general in California. She wants to be president. And again, if you fly somebody out to the Hamptons and you bring her into this big event with all of these big donors, they're looking at her. They are grooming her for this position. She had a luncheon following that. You're going to see this woman taking more trips to the Hampton than you or I will ever have. So she is out there. She is out there to be groomed for the position. You know, I think Elizabeth could be a possibility. Elizabeth Warren. However, Elizabeth Warren is kind of like the old Dems that they're trying to move away from. If you read my article, also there is a huge donor, one of the largest donors in the Democrat Party, who is saying we need kind of a new progressive face. Now, Elizabeth Warren, while not new, she's certainly progressive. I don't think Hillary would be a running mate. I don't see that. I don't see Hillary coming back. Hopefully not. Every time you say DNC, I think of DNC and the thing that women do after they have a miscarriage. Well, you know, maybe close, Hugh. Welcome, Adrina Cito, your first day on Periscope. Everybody, welcome, Adrina. I would vote for the real Indian. Oh, Cully, I wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. I don't care if she's Indian or not, because she's a different kind of. She's an Indian from India, you know, where Pocahontas thinks she's from. That she's a Native American. Dustin and cleaning. That's what Shauna said DNC Matt says. No Hillary vice president pick who ran with her. I know, Cully. Is that wrong? What wrong? Okay, so now over the weekend, over the weekend we had a lot of Jay Sekulow was on a lot. Is it a bad thing? About what? I don't know what your question is. I don't know what is it. Is what a bad thing? When Jay Sekulow was on with Chuck Todd, he was also on with Chris Wallace. It's not a bad thing to be Indian. It's a bad thing to be Democrat. So Jay was on, and they wouldn't let him speak, really. They didn't want to hear what Jay Sekulow had to say. Jay Sekulow was trying to talk about Comey. They certainly didn't want to hear it. All they wanted to know was, well, you know, look at Donald Trump Jr. What was it? Was it bad for him to go there and talk to try to get information about Hillary? And he kept trying to tell them, you know, that Comey basically got all this stuff going because of what he did and the leaks that he made, and that the whole Russian thing was built upon nothing. But they didn't want to hear that. All they wanted to know was, but Donald Trump Jr., but Donald Trump Jr. Chris Wallace was a jerk. Chris Wallace was a jerk, absolutely, Carrie. He always is, to Jay Sekulow anyway. And Chuck Todd tried to be. And it was funny because Chuck Todd and Chris Wallace said the exact same thing. Yeah, Jay speaks the truth. They don't like it. And they don't want his explanation because they have their minds made up already and they have the agenda going. Cannot stand Chuck Todd. Yeah, I know, Robin. I don't know that anybody who can other than Chuck Todd. Yeah, but, you know, so what is that for, Nancy? What's your Twitter and your status? So respected Wallace until truth came out. I know, Barbara. He's fallen in kind of down a couple of pegs, I think. You just hoaxed from Cernovich. Was that a hoax about Cernovich being banned from YouTube, or was that true? Do you know, Nancy? So anyway, I thought Jay exposed the deep state. Okay, I got you, Nancy. And if you will, when you're tweeting stuff, we're trying to get, I know the sex spots are here, Cully. If you would put hashtag Knowles Crew with a K, so KNOWLESKREW, that would be great. You miss a lot not having cable. I don't know, Teresa, you might be better off. They're blocking his videos on YouTube. Wow. On Cernovich she's talking about. I used to respect John McCain and others, but POTUS election brought their true colors out. Very true, Robin. Yeah. I think that's, yeah, pretty amazing that everybody, on the right is getting blocked. Hopefully Cernovich maybe can put some things on Gab. That might be great. Now, Adam Schiff, the House Intel, one of the co-chairs there, he's a Republican. I mean, he's a, sorry about that, California representative. He's a Democrat from California. Basically came out over the weekend and said if Democrats asked for Ukraine to give them damaging information on Donald Trump, then that was inappropriate. So at least we have one Democrat, which is unbelievable, one Democrat who said that if the Democrats were trying to get information from the Ukraine, that was inappropriate. I was kind of surprised that he said that. If you will, guys, if everybody would retweet this again and invite followers, that'd be great. We're kind of at the halfway point. Yay, yay. Tori's back. Yay. Thank you for inviting your followers and retweeting. That would be great. We're trying to get all this information out so people can also see the information about the veterans and in case they want to donate as well. Got rid of your satellite dish 4 months ago, Hughes said. Lowest approval rating in history. Well, it was an ABC and WAPO poll, so I'm not surprised that those numbers were like that. Adam Schiff is full of Schiff. That's right, Shauna. And your cell phone, your TV phone, and you're both internet-based. Good. So let's see. Also, Breitbart is reporting today that Gary Cohn, and you've heard everybody talk about a lot about Gary Cohn, that he's the National Economic Council Director for President Trump. He told, supposedly, now I don't know if this is true or not, supposedly told a former Goldman Sachs partner that he would block Trump's nationalist agenda from being carried out, especially when he's talking about trade and health care. So, again, I know you've heard a lot of negative things about Gary Cohn, and now finally Breitbart is coming out about that. Yes, Gary Cohn is a Democrat. And so is Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump and Dina Powell. Yeah. So if you can believe the report from, coming from a former Goldman Sachs person, is Breitbart to trust, even with Bannon works in the White House, conflict of interest. I mean, could you trust him before Bannon was in the White House? I mean, I guess that's the question. You haven't liked it since day one. I know. Freaking special. Carrie said. Hey, Veritas, how are you? Chuck. Is there a conflict of interest? Well, I don't think so because Steve Bannon doesn't work at Breitbart anymore. And I don't think he has an interest in Breitbart either. And Breitbart's not the only one talking about Gary Cohn and Dina Powell. So, and you could ask yourself, do conflicts of interest even matter anymore? Look at Mueller. Look at Charlie Gard's attorney. Does anybody care about conflict of interest anymore? Hey, Monique, good morning. Great to see you. Finally free to listen to this week. That's great, Monique. Yeah, we were a little late getting on YouTube, Monique, because YouTube wasn't working this morning for anyone. Probably both on that question somebody just asked. So, I mean, good news, I guess, coming from Adam Schiff, and Breitbart, too. Conflict of interest should apply to both sides. Well, it doesn't. So there you go. It really isn't applying to anybody because nobody seems to care about the conflict of interest. Now, we also, liberal lawyer Alan Dershowitz came out and told Judge Janine this weekend that Donald Trump Jr. did nothing illegal. He did not commit a crime. So there you go. I don't know how many more people we have to hear it from. Again, if you were told that your opposing team, there was some information on your opposing team, would you go and listen at a meeting to try to get that information? Most people would say, yes, they would. It's just natural. He was also set up. It sure sounds like that, Barbara, because you have the attorney that was brought in from Russia by Attorney General Lynch on the Democrat side. And again, she sat in on congressional hearings. She was at the front row. She was sitting in pictures with the Russian ambassador. All these people kind of know the Democrats. But again, none of that will be talked about. No conflict of interest will be talked about there. I do believe Hillary went to Ukraine to dig up dirt on Trump. Most likely. And again, when you talk about the solicitation and the interference with the election, what are we talking about in regards to interference with election? When I talk about like an illegal interference with the election, I think about people who are going in and trying to hack voting machines, people who are, paying people money to get them to vote a certain way. I mean, that to me, that's a interference. The other stuff that we're talking about, gathering information about an opponent, I don't see that as an interference, especially with Donald Trump Jr. when he didn't supposedly take any information at all. Even if he did, I don't think it'd be a problem. What happened to John McCain? He had a blood clot above his eye, Bob, and he had to have surgery to remove it. And let's see, just as long as all these allegations continue to pour in, that's what's important. Yeah. Sounds suspicious, Bob? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's suspicious. I mean, I don't know how you mean it would be suspicious, but conflict of interest does not and should does and should matter, but it doesn't seem to apply to both sides, Monique said. That's right, Monique. Not seeing it happen on both sides. There were 5 times, this was in the Daily Wire, 5 times that Democrats tried to work with Russians to swing the elections. Ted Kennedy twice reached out to the Soviet Union for election help to sabotage Jimmy Carter's foreign policy efforts. And in 2012, Obama said to Medvedev, who was then the Russian president at the time, and this was after Putin got elected, he said, after my election, I have more flexibility. So you remember that one. That was probably something that you remember very recent. Also, Jimmy Carter in the 1980 election tried to improve his chances against Ronald Reagan. So there's another one that nobody talks about. Bill Clinton pledged to support Russian President Boris Yeltsin in 1996 if he agreed to clear up negative issues in regards to, like, there was a poultry dispute between America and Russia at the time. Tip O'Neill wanted, as the Speaker of the House, Soviets. He told the Russians it was to everybody's best interest to keep Reagan out of the White House. So there are 5 examples right there that are in the Daily Wire about how the Democrats tried to interfere with the election. Now, Carter didn't have much of a policy on anything. So, you may want to go to the Daily Wire. Hey, Amanda, go to the Daily Wire and get that information so that if somebody asks you, well, there was never any interference by the Democrats, you'll see it. Oh, that's okay. It's okay that you're late, Sass. Doing great, great. You may want to go back and replay this so you can hear it. So, other news, Caitlyn Jenner may run for a state Senate position. That would be in California. So we'll see if that happens. So hold on 2 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to catch something really quickly. Thank you for waiting on me to come back. Poor YouTube just sees a chair spinning around. Um, so Judicial Watch on Friday released 448 documents from the U.S. Department of State revealing new incidents of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's Deputy Chief of Staff Uma Abedin providing special treatment by the State Department to individuals who contributed large amounts of money to the Clinton Foundation and political campaigns. So there you go. 448 pages of documents. I just kind of wonder, when are we going to call for an investigation on Hillary Clinton? When? I know Judicial Watch is great. What would we do without them? And continually trying to get information that otherwise we wouldn't get. And they've spent years trying to get information under the FOIA Act. And they say that, a lot of these emails just show you how much it was, pay to play and how much she was involved in that. Session needs wake from his slump. Yeah, I think so too, Beck. Something needs to, and it can't all fall on Sessions. I mean, yes, he's at the top. It's his fault. But they've got to get people in there who are not still holdovers from Obama. I think that's part of the problem. Need to investigate the Clinton body count. Did you see that, Coley? Did you see how many people in the last, 30 years have died? Lisa, I think so too. In a lot of respects, Hillary is untouchable. Yeah, something like 39. It's been a lot. And it's been, the latest one. And I don't know if, and I haven't really said anything about it because I don't know if it's true or not. But the latest thing is that some guy in Haiti was to testify against her, and he ended up, I think, killing himself. And the guy recently was 81 who committed suicide. That one, the 81-year-old, is a true story that we've been told. I know because we've seen it everywhere. The one about Haiti, I don't know if it's true. I don't know. I would like for President Trump to do an investigation. Probably is. And Shauna, Larry Nichols used to work for the Clintons, so he would know. He wrote the playbook for the Clintons. So I think, here's what I would like to see. I would like for President Trump to come out and say, there's enough evidence here. We need to move forward. We need to start investigating the Clinton Foundation, the Hillary Clinton emails, Attorney General Lynch, Comey, on and on and on. I guess maybe what he's waiting for is to see if Robert Mueller is going to come out with anything. I don't know. And I don't know what Mueller's doing. And right now we really shouldn't know what Mueller's doing, although we keep hearing different things, supposedly leak from his office, but I don't know if it's true or not. And again, we're in so deep with Mueller, and I hear rumors every day saying, oh, well, they're going to go ahead and get rid of Mueller, and they're going to just let him go, but it never happens. I don't trust him at all. I wish he were fired. I do too, Carrie. Maybe she will hang herself. Don't count on it, Barbara. So, Mueller better do right. Well, I don't know, Kat. Talk about a conflict of interest. There's a big one. All he does is hire people. I know. And they're all Clinton donors, all Clinton donor attorneys. The last count was over 13, I know, and I'm not sure why we needed so many. Investigations may go nowhere, but keep it in people's minds. Exactly. And that's all they want to do. They want to keep it in your mind for the 2018 and 2020 elections. So they can bring it up, each and every time there's an election and say, oh, did you know? Did you, remember when? Remember Russia? Blah, blah, blah. It's their plan. And so far it's working pretty well. Cashing in again to help the foundation get money back. Yeah, and again, I know I've said this 1,000 times, but the guest that I had on, Jerome Corsi, wrote the book called The Partners in Crime about the Clinton Foundation. And I keep saying, telling you, go read that book. And I really think you should go read that book. It will make your head spin. Stuff that you have not heard in the public, and you will not hear. And he names names, and he doesn't hold back. Charles Ortel is awesome. And what about the guy who exposed Clinton on the Ukrainian collusion? Was there something in the news about his recent death? Are you talking about the 81-year-old Monique? I'm not sure. That's great. I'll see if I can find it in the digital library. Yeah, Carrie. I mean, you'd at least, if you Amazon Prime, you should be able to find it on there. I don't know where it might be. He investigated the Clinton Foundation, Shauna said. Charles Ortel wrote Clinton Cash. Okay. They were saying also there's more. The Washington Examiner had some information on Todd Rodham, who's Hillary Rodham Clinton's brother. Said in March 2012, Bill Clinton received an invitation to speak at the some complex in North Korea. And Richard Park, who is a Korean businessman and has a friendship with Tony Rodham, supposedly, earned him a direct line. Oh, I guess it's Tony Rodham, not Todd Rodham. So Tony Rodham earned a direct line to Hillary Clinton while she served as Secretary of State. In January 2013, the Korean businessman sent Rodham, that's her brother, an email and asked him to forward it on to his sister. Everyone should read The Unholy Alliance Between Islam and the American Left, Hugh said. Fox Hannity has Charles Ortel on, especially when Hillary was in the news. Hey, Wanda, good to see you. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said, I'm not sure how much more evidence of pay-for-play, classified information mishandling, and influence peddling from Clinton's email server one would need to show a serious criminal investigation is required. Amen to that. I think we would all absolutely agree that it's way past time, that we should have done this in the very beginning when I think Donald Trump was basically saying, let's just move on. All of us were saying, no, not so fast. Let's not do that. And now we've gotten buried deep in the muck in this whole thing. And every time now that anything is done, anybody's fired or anything comes up, then it's, oh, well, you're only doing that because you don't want us to know about Russia. Which books do you recommend? I think the Partners in Crime is an excellent book about the Clinton Foundation. Arkansas should have done something when Clinton was governor, Kerry said. Yeah, like not elect him. Yeah, natural causes there, Shauna. That's right. Died of natural causes. So you just wonder, too, how much, her brother, Hillary's brother, was involved. I know Chelsea Clinton has been involved with the Clinton Foundation. How much she knew, if there were any wrongdoing by Chelsea, I don't know. We've all heard of the money that was used for Chelsea's wedding, supposedly came out of the Clinton Foundation donations, and that they did very little real charity work for anybody else. Looks like that we're having some difficulties maybe today on Periscope with people getting kicked out and coming back. Yeah, Robin, Partners in Crime is great. And also if you want to hear the interview with Jerome Corsi, just go to SusanKnowles.com. Type in Jerome Corsi, C-O-R-S-I. He's been on a couple of times. You'll see the shows, and the book is in there, but also you can hear the show. Chelsea was not pretty, then got pretty outside, now ugly inside, Barbara said. She made 6 figures for being a figurehead at the Clinton Foundation. Yep. Yeah, she got a lot of money for being there. And I think probably it wouldn't surprise me that when Chelsea saw what was going on, she was probably taken aback. But, of course, she's not going to do anything. Oh, the usual lagging on, Robert said on Periscope. Now, the other day, this was kind of odd, and I don't know what's going to happen with this, but the House of Representatives approved a controversial funding bill last week, allowing the United States government to employ illegal immigrants that were granted amnesty under the Obama administration to have jobs. This is according to the Conservative Review. They quietly included the amendment to the fiscal year 2018 Financial Services Appropriations Bill, which specifically grants aliens who entered the country illegally the right to apply for employment with the federal government. Makes no sense whatsoever. So that was the House of Representatives and put that in the bill. And also, of course, Pete Aguilar, Democrat from California, they're always involved in things like this, proposed an amendment allowing those illegals authorized to be employed by Obama's edict under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program to be eligible for employment by the federal government or companies where a majority stock is owned by the federal government. Yep, unacceptable and ridiculous. Yep, Lisa, I agree. And I guess when they wanted to, when the Republicans and Democrats both wanted to have like a recorded vote, so they wanted to know who voted for what and have it recorded, it was denied. So we don't even know who was for it, who was against it, because it wasn't allowed to go forward. So again, these things slip by. We don't even know it. It's starting to sound more and more like California. California does this stuff all the time. Yeah, I know, Carrie. We have Americans that need jobs, unemployed, and now we're giving them away government jobs to illegal immigrants. And how many, you know there's probably a quota saying you have to have so many illegal immigrants that you're hiring, I would imagine. I don't know why that's allowed, Lisa, because we don't know anything about it, so we can't do anything about it. America first. That's right, Marianne. It should tick you off, Carrie. It really should. I mean, it's amazing that we keep allowing this. I know, Kat, I'm in California, too. You don't have to tell me how terrible it is. I know. It is horrible. Getting worse. It's becoming more of a socialist state by the minute. Some good news, the Senate panel cleared several of President Trump's judicial nominees on Thursday, which is really good. We need judges like crazy. The Senate Judiciary Committee voted to advance the confirmation of several nominees to federal appeals court Thursday morning. John Bush, a Louisville lawyer in private practice, and Damian Schiff, a public interest litigator, were each approved by the committee on a party line vote. And Bush was nominated for a seat on the 6th U.S. Court of Appeals. Schiff was for a 15-year term on the U.S. Court of Federal Claims. So we're getting more in there. Can't Trump do anything about it? That ticks me off, Robin said. I don't know, Robin, if he will would veto something like that just because they put it in. They just kind of like, threw it in with other things. So if you kind of veto the bill, then you're vetoing everything. And I don't know if he would look at it and say it's not important enough to veto everything else and have to start all over. I don't know. Kevin Newsom's nomination to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals advanced to the full Senate as well. And in regards to the DACA thing, they're saying that there are a lot of legal challenges that are coming for DACA, and it may get defeated. Cully, they're coming after you. You know that, right? They only the sex bots only come in here because Cully's in here. So if DACA, kind of fades away because of legal challenges on its own, then what the House passed, if it goes and becomes a full bill and everything else, then it may not matter, because if you've got something that with DACA, if it totally goes away or it's deemed illegal or whatever, unconstitutional, then they're certainly not going to go through with that in the federal government hiring them, or at least that's the logic. Wow. Thank you, Robert. 6,373 hearts that you pumped. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how you do it, but I'm so glad that you do. So, there you go. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there today, a lot of information, a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We've got to keep our eyes on everything that's going on. Um, Anything that you guys have heard that interests you that we should be taking a look at? Anything in the news that's come up lately that you're concerned about? I mean, there's just so much. I mean, and again, I think one of the things we never look at the Democrats. We never say, let's look and see what they're doing. Let's call them out on it. Let's start a special investigation. We don't do that. We just keep playing defense. Wow. 1,688,000. Could you verify the pilot's death? Um, no. Are you talking about which? Just give me a refresher on that pilot you're talking about. Just a guy that are being arrested. Okay. I didn't get all that. Oh, you're talking. Oh, you're talking about the pilot who was supposedly on the tarmac. Yeah, I don't even know if that story's true. I have no idea if the pilot heard anything. So, and I don't know if he's dead or not. I have no idea. His wife saying it sounds racist. I believe it is set up against the cops to get votes coming up, Carrie said. Thank you for all the information. Thank you, Robin. Was a lot to research. There's always a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I think some of these things, when you're talking about the pilot or some of these other people that have died, we have to, kind of be careful because is the Clinton Nickelodeon network. Cully said for CNN. You have to be kind of careful for that because a lot of people like to, they know there's a lot of people connected with the Clintons that have died, so they like to kind of make things up. So I don't like to just go with them until I kind of know more for sure if it happened or not. If the pilot was on the plane, if there really was a pilot on the plane, how much he heard, that I'm sure they were probably in the back of the plane, it's questionable. And whether he's dead or not, I don't know. I haven't looked at and seen the best or the any of that to tell me whether or not he has died. Crappy nut network. Shauna said. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, yes. And they're still belly aching about losing, and they're still sad because they think that all Republicans are bad and all Democrats are good. I mean, that has gone on. I've seen that all weekend in different tweets. They don't like President Trump's tweets. They're even trying to say, and not even just CNN, but a lot of people on these ABC and WAPO polls, that like a lot of people, 2/3 of the people don't like President Trump's tweets. Well, when you go out and you just poll those on the left, you're going to get that type of answer. ABC and WAPO did not go out, I'm sure, and ask the same number of conservatives that same question. I don't know about you, but I like his tweets. Did you hear about Ryan and Lynch meeting? There was an airplane worker on board. I've heard that, Shauna, and again, there's something I don't know. Everyone have a great Monday. Thank you, Marlene. Please, everybody, would you retweet this? I'd really appreciate it. If you want to donate for the veterans, the homeless veterans, please go to SusanKnowles.com, click on the donate button. And also, if you would, please go out and look at that article I wrote today on Kamala Harris. Please get that out there. And if you will, hashtag everything with Knowles Crew. So hashtag KNOWLES KREW. And I thank you so much. And I know Jay Sekulow is waiting for everybody to watch. I quit watching anything but Fox and One American News Network. Kat, you may have to stop watching Fox soon. Can you please tell me what was wrong with Obama saying when he had more flexibility after he was elected? I'm not making a connection. Were people upset because he was being presumptuous? Monique, he was basically giving information, telling him to give it to the new president in Russia, that he was going to have more flexibility to do things, which sounded like maybe collusion with Russia. That's kind of the point. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And we will, 500 team mob attack police, just saw that on Alex Jones. Teen, not sure what all that is. But anyway, see you guys tomorrow. If you will, everybody, please retweet this. Have a good day. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Take care. Everybody, thank you so much on YouTube. Talk to you soon. Take care.